What's going on? How's it going? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. A little bit of normalcy back in the life, right? Where's the chat at? Let me pull the chat up. Here we go. What's up, Valoni? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Here the mouse goes. Mouse don't disconnect at all. As soon as we turn the camera on and we start streaming, here the mouse goes. Disconnect, reconnect, disconnect, reconnect. Back and forth. What's up, Simo? What's going on? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's Sunday? How's everybody's Sunday? 294 correct. I'm just making sure the layout's all correct. Get rid of all these phone notifications. How is the picture quality and sound? How does all that sound? Because I'm learning more. Day by day I learn a bit more about like audio setups and lighting setups. So I just messed around. I spent like the last half an hour messing around with the lighting, right? So it might before it was a lot of camera noise because where I am it's very dark. And I've always had this thing, if you seen the last sidetrack stream, I don't like to be in the dark, right? I like the light very much. But if I'm like sitting like trying to watch something or read something, I don't want bright light shining in my face. So I have to get used to that. So I was like using higher ISO on the camera, right? I was using higher ISO on the camera so that I can keep the lights in here lower so it wasn't super bright. But that resulted in the camera picture having a lot of noise. Like it looks like grainy, right? Because my camera is not particularly that great in low light situations. It's good, but not great. So I just had to suck it up and I turned the lights up, turned it up, turned the ISO down, right? So it's not letting that much light into the lens. So it's a better picture, and I just have to raise all the brightness up of everything else to try to match with the what it was before. So hopefully it looks good, right? I've been messing around with that light back there, the one that's giving the color, and then these lights on down here. You can't really tell. Like you could probably see them pop on and off if I do it fast enough. I've been messing with those as well. Right? But I really haven't. That's all stuff I did like within the last like hour. I've just been busy taking care of my mom because we're still waiting back on her COVID test to see if she tested positive or not. We still don't know. But she's been going through like the roller coaster of all the symptoms and stuff. So I've just been essentially like on call whenever she doesn't feel good, headache, sanitize their food, etc., etc., etc. So I really haven't had time to sit here at all. So this is really like, I sat here for Yashihime yesterday and then the internet died on me. But she was asleep during that time, so I was able to have some free time. But then after that, like, I was running around doing that. So it's just like, today is the first day I've been able to do something. What's up, man? What's going on? Yeah, so that's all. That's what my last couple of days have been. The reason why I haven't been able to stream is because a combination. Since Wednesday we've been dealing with this, right? Like she can't leave the room, so I'm doing everything. So yeah, that's why we haven't been streaming as much on the channel, doing anything on the channel, like for like I can't talk. Come on, it's not focusing. There we go. But yeah, we're here. Hopefully we can get through this, right? No internet issues. Oh wait, I need to raise the bit rate. You see that? Forgot. It probably looks like really bad right now. Hold on. We should be getting better. We should be getting better right now. Probably looks like a little like ugh, but it should do a refresh and it should be better. I raised the bit rate. Yeah, it was all right. Okay. I got you. We fixed it. Don't worry, we fixed it. Staying strong. Hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not worried. We raised it. I just need to do another refresh of the stream. Refresh your browser too, because I've been messing around with settings way too much. Ooh, we're dropping frames. I think we're dropping frames because of the bitrate trying to catch up. Okay. Chat's working. Yesterday's chat feature was broken on YouTube. Open widget. We're still in good streaming status. We're not in excellent. It's not lower. It'll fix itself. It'll fix itself. All right. So, what's up, Julian? Haven't gotten started yet. I'm flubbing up on all the stream stuff because it's been a minute, so I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Stream output 6,000. That's good. YouTube says it's okay. Recommended is 4,500, but 4,500 doesn't look that great. All right, so I forgot I had the heat on. I'm trying to figure out why I'm hot. Without wasting any more time, a quick recap of last week. Things are going crazy, right? We were Julian, did you bring it up? Who brought it up in the Discord? I forgot. Who brought it up about the lightning bolt with Deku? Okay, so what? The lightning bolt with Deku and a possibility of Black Whip. Like, we were looking back at the first panel, and one of the quirks that Deku might get being clairvoyancy, i.e. a spider sense, right? And there's been multiple panels so far throughout this arc where 45. Let's see if we could trick YouTube into giving us excellent. So yeah, that was you. See, okay, so we tricked the stream into giving us excellent. Now we're gonna switch it back. So that, I think that's very interesting. I haven't had the time to really much think about it, but I think the idea of Deku having a sort of spider sense, like, I personally don't think it would take away from his paying attention, right? I don't think it would. Just about to say that 286 and 293, yeah. I don't think it would take away from him paying attention a lot. I think it only adds to it, right? Because a spider sense means nothing if you don't have the mindset to be able to think your way through it. Just because you have the hunch of something bad is gonna happen, it really, like, that's all it really, like, something bad's about to happen. As long as it's not like actual, like, clairvoyancy, as long as it's not actual clairvoyancy where it's just like he gets visions, right? That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. I don't know how much I would like that if he got actual visions of what's gonna happen. But if he were to get like a spider sense of like as something's about to happen, it's just like, something's about to happen. What is it? So it's kind of like he's already on edge. And then as things starts happening, he's able to think a little bit faster. He's able to think a little bit faster, right? So I think I would like that. I think that would help a little bit more. I'm sorry guys, I'm moving a bunch of stuff around. I don't have the chapter up. What's up, Akil the Fat? Tomorrow, hopefully, when I get out of work. I've been I'm not sure if you checked out any of the other things or the Discord, but personal life's been a little bit hectic and it's been stopping me from doing a bunch of stuff, i.e. COVID stuff with my mom. So yeah. But yeah, I think in a spider sense of some sort, I think that would be cool. I genuinely do think that would be cool. I do think like a actual, just like a two. Nah, I'm trying to give it a number variable, but I can't think of a proper one. But like a kind of like just like a spider sense. Like as stuff is happening, Peter's like, "What the hell is going? Like something's coming." He doesn't really know where, but he's just like, something's happening, and because of his acute senses, like he's able to perceive things a little bit faster. In the same way, like how Deku's been modeled, right? So if he has the hunch that something's happening, and it's just like, now he's just like Madara eyes back and forth, bam, right there. So it's not like so he can stop being I think that works into his character actually. Ooh, I think him actually having a spider sense works into his character. It can work into him being a better hero, right? Because the whole thing, I said right again. The whole thing that Deku has an issue with, and I'll get started once I make this point. Deku has an issue with like actually thinking through and making decisions. When he's not thinking, he's making the worst decision possible. Can we agree? It's just like when he stops, right? So when he stops thinking, it's quite literally, and he just like shuts it off and just goes unga bunga. We get what we've got when he was fighting Shigaraki a couple chapters ago. The boy he's just like, I need to, like, that's what he's doing. It's crazy. Like, it's not sustainable. And what Bakugo said when they had their squabble again is that you think too much, right? You think too much. You're hesitating, and I'm able to react because you're thinking too much, right? Yeah. So it's like, so I think the fact of him having a spider sense where it can just like, not in a sense like put him at ease. He doesn't have to be thinking, like he can, like he gets a tip and now he can survey and then be able to react, right? It would help that out more because he's fighting at a disadvantage. The boy's had a quirk for 2 years, right? It's like expecting him to, like, he's not All Might. Like he didn't, like he's got it rough right now. So I think him having this quirk for 2 years and having that be able, like a spider sense to help him out would be cool. That's pretty much how it works. And what's up, Dexter, by the way? Yeah, it just lets Peter know some type of danger is coming from a certain direction. That's true, Madman. It would be amplified as well. It would be amplified as well. I left my chapstick upstairs. Damn it. Got my water though. Yeah, I agree. Like Deku's not wired like that. Like they're like All Might and Bakugo just seem like naturals. Like natural, like they're just boom, 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 boom. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And Deku literally is just like walking his way through it, like step by step by step, thinking of every possible thing. He has to keep everything contained because if he don't, he could blow his arms off in an instant. It's a lot going on in that boy's brain. Oh, I said I was gonna get started. Did everyone see that Bakugo's name got updated because it was spelled like Dynamite, like dynamite, like a fancy spelling of Dyna, and then might, like the actual explosive, and now it's been reworded to be dynamite to actually get to capture the essence of him taking the might from All Might. That got updated, and I think throughout like middle of the week it got updated, because that's something I called it out last week, like, ooh, dynamite, like All Might, and come to find out the kanji that's used in Bakugo's name is directly taken from All Might's name, so that's cool. And all right, I've been babbling enough. 294. I'm pulling it up right now. Oh, Crust. Look at Crust. Wait, is that is that Pixie Bob? Is that Pixie Bob? Or is that who's the other pussycat? Who's the other one? Who's the other one? Who's the other one? No. That's Mirko? Oh that is Mirko. I didn't see the ears. See, I usually zoom in and I didn't. Because I seen Crust, I instantly thought back. Because I seen Crust, I instantly thought back to Pixie Bob and everybody when the decay was going out. But it is Mirko. Because I didn't see the ears. Her right ear is wrapped up. That is Mirko. That is indeed Mirko. I saw Crust and I instantly just went back to because that's the last panel we see of him before he decays, right? That's the last thing. That's why I instantly, like, my brain instantly defaulted to a couple months ago. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh man. Okay. It's not Pixie Bob. All right. I was gonna be like, if that's Pixie Bob, then oh boy, she survived. But it's not. It actually isn't. For Aizawa to already be on a stretcher. They have to be danger close, right? They have to be danger close. They have to be danger close. 294 final performance. Ooh. Final performance. Ooh. The fact that the sedative took effect here and now is surely no mere coincidence. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Midnight is dead. Oof. Oh, is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler? I gotta reply to you after. I was thinking just off the fact of last week. Now I thought about that quite a bit. I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit. I did think about that because the last time we seen All Might, Midnight, she was on the ground and the homie was over, like about to deal the death blow, right? And she staked everything. She staked everything on Momo's plan. So like I feel like narrative wise, if Momo's plan didn't work, Midnight should stay alive. But since Momo's plan did work and the sedative did work, Midnight's dead. I was thinking about that like halfway through the week before like my life got crazy. But yeah, I do feel that way. Ooh, that's broken. That's what that screw was. There was a screw I picked up the other day, and it goes to the stand on my computer. Okay. But yeah, I was definitely thinking that because the sedative worked, Midnight's dead. So we're looking at Hawks on the bottom panel. Present Mike, Ryukyu, Gran Torino, Rocklock, Manuel, Mirko, Aizawa, and Crust on this first page. Let's go on to page 2. Zoom again, top right. Little by little, so many of us wore down the giant until he was weak enough for the drug to take hold. Even the thinnest threads can come together and braid a mighty rope. But had even a single thread frayed and come loose, we would have been lost. Excuse me. That I do believe. All right. I'm zooming in. Look at the wood that's just like all jammed in Mount Lady. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. That's Midnight right there. Come on, mouse. That's Midnight right there. And I can't tell if that's blood or if that's her hair. Right above the bubble where it says "War Down," like above her mask to the left. I can't tell if that's just her hair on the ground. It kind of looks like it is her hair on the ground, or if it's blood. Could be a mixture of the two. But she's definitely not moving. Endeavor hitting the ground. Deku hitting the ground. Okay. The zoom breaks the page. Look at this panel. Oh my goodness. Top of 3. Look at all the Nomu. Look at Ida. Oh good. You can see Dabi and Todoroki in the back. Shoto. Trying to see if I could catch everybody in this panel. I'm trying to see if I could catch everybody in here. The Ida. I see Dabi and Shoto. I see Best Jeanist. Okay. Oh, Nezha is on the right. I was like, okay. Nezha is on the right. Gagan's down. Ooh, look at, oh my goodness. Look at Best Genius going in, trying to land a blow on Dabi. And Shoto's enduring. 4, zoom in. Okay. All right, Mirio, okay, come on. I'm on 4. Come on, Mouse. Mouse was working fine all damn day. Now I want to start messing up. Look at this no move. Oh my goodness. No wonder the heroes over there having a rough time. The moves these things make are simple, but their speed and toughness are off the charts. Oh my gosh. Oh my, this Nomu looks crazy. Each one's gotta be just as strong as the Nomu and Kyushu. You don't want to get tagged by these guys. Okay. You're in no state to take a hit from these things. Ida. Great explosion, murder, god, dynamite. You must retreat. Only Ida would actually proclaim Bakugo's entire hero name. Oh man, that's funny. That was funny. Didn't Phantom say something about standby medic close to Tokiyami? Yeah, that's the one he brought Hawks to, and then Gigan came, and that's the one that got blown away back then. Right, I think Valonia just said that. Yeah. Oh, she's taking a nap. She's fine. It's blood. I don't think that dude left her alive. I doubt it. I do doubt it. I agree, Julian. Is Zoom broke it again? All right. Only Ida would proclaim Bakugo's entire hero name. Crap, there ain't a snappy comeback because he's right. Anyhow, just gotta keep dodging so Genius is off their radar. At last, I can redirect the resources spent on restraining the giant towards the League of Villains. All right. Top of 6. Oh my, is he making, okay. I feel like he's about to make, is he gonna make his move? Compress is gonna make his move finally? This tidy tie-up job prevents me from touching the cables. And without physical touch, I cannot activate my compress quirk. Such dire straits, and all I can do is tickle my own behind. The boss fares no better. What is he about to do? Moving over to 7. You summoned us together, did you not? Told us to run amok, right? What are we supposed to think when even your act is cut short? This amounted to a trap. You still haven't destroyed a darn thing yet. It's just as our associate Spinner says. Dabi, young Toga, and I have yet to achieve our dreams. All right, we're getting some okay. We're getting some compress. We're getting some compress shine. Let's move over. 8. Zooming in. Blackout bind. Look at Spinner. Does our show end here? Spinner. I loved the League. Tomura is the key. I'm trying to catch all these bubbles in the same speech. I shall buy you 5 seconds during which to rouse the boss. Oh my goodness. All right. A collection of warped minds who never bothered, prying into each other's past. Just a band of egotists. The timing must be right, when the heroes are a bit further and the Nomu are in optimal position. Dude, Spinner's getting the life choked out of him. Every decent performance requires a good assistant. I'm on top of 9. Is Compress about to compress himself? My dream, my blood. My dream, excuse me. My blood-bound duty, the reason I'm here. Compress is compressing himself? Dude, he's choking the life out of them. He is choking the absolute life out of them. End it. End it. End it. End it. I want to go back to this after we get through the chapter, because Compress is speaking in past tense as if he's going to kill himself. What the? Whoa! Whoa, Compress! Whoa! Whoa! He took his... Whoa! Gouging out my own flesh gives my arm room to maneuver. Are you telling me this man... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Free use of my arm means I can do this. He's gonna compress. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. I'm moving over to 11. Don't believe for a single moment that you're the only ones giving your lives for a cause. Look at Mario's face. Well, ready for a taste of prime entertainment? What is... Look at him. He's bolting up. What is he about to do? He tasked it to Spinner. He tasked Spinner to be the one to route. I said it last week. I said this last week, right? That Spinner's always the one that gets Shigaraki to go to the next level, to go crazy. Because wasn't he the one... He was the same one that did this in My Villain Academia, wasn't he? Like, before Shiggy had, like, his whole, like, we got his backstory. Wasn't Spinner the one that the pop off on him? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. 12. I'm zooming in. Zooming in. Zooming in. Zooming in. Maiming his own body? Really? Nevertheless. That wound is fatal. You have no hope of escaping. This man... Bound by my own clothing? However, bound or not, so long as my hand is in position. Oh my goodness. I can make quick work of this. Dude, Compress is going off. Compress is going off. You. Over here, you're running, right? Free me too, then. Oh my goodness. Daring escapes and deception are my forte. Which means I'm the man who will save our team from certain doom. Yo, Compress, this is nuts. This is nuts. Oji Harima. The perilous thief, a criminal from days gone by. Just when the current system began settling into place, Harima targeted the fattened pockets of sham heroes. He preached reformation while returning what he pilfered back to the... Damn zoom. Pilfered back to the streets. He's essentially My Hero's Robin Hood, right? Essentially, like... Listen, Shuro. Oh goodness, Asuhiro. I don't know. Our family's lineage is all about exposing injustice that righteous blood runs in our vein. He's the was he the guy that was shown? He was the guy that was shown next to Destro, right? It was him. It was Destro, and was it who else was it? Was it All For One, or was it someone else? Because wasn't it like these three people that showed up? Yeah. When we first started the Liberation Front in the original Destro, that was back with Gentle. Yeah. He was the one that then mentioned in the same league as All For One and Destro. Right. You're telling me that is Compress related to this man? Damn, dude. Is Compress related to him? OG Harima, the peerless thief, a criminal from days gone by. Just when the current system began settling into place, Harima targeted the fattened pockets of sham heroes. He preached reformation while returning what he pilfered back to the streets. Listen, Atsushiro. That's what I'll go with, even though that's incorrect. Our family's lineage is all about exposing injustice that righteous blood runs in our vein. Let's go to 14. I was gonna take a guess that possibly he's the younger. He's somewhat related to Oji Harima. There's no way he actually is him, right? All right, 14. Flash Fire Fist. Toya. Sorry about this, Shoto. Change of plans. Look at Dabi's face. Jet burn. Jeez. Jeez. Do you see the size of the blast though? You see how big that fire blast is? Enji Todoroki isn't completely broken yet. If he passes out now, there's no point in going on with this little performance. Sorry, Masterpiece. To me, Dabi. Look at him. Look at him. I'm going over to 15. Harima. The reformation that you could not achieve, I now hand off to my boss. I am Harima's great-great-grandson. Oh my gosh. The Paranormal Liberation Front's the League of Villains Shigaraki. The Bandit King's blood flows through me. Oh my god. What's that you say? You barely noticed me. All part of the act. It's all for that ta-da moment. Oh my goodness. This final panel is insane. This final panel is insane. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. The whole back half of this chapter is just like a bang, 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 bang. Oh my gosh. Like, what the heck? Oh. I love this, right? I love this. Voila, the curtain rises on the first and final escape artist performance of Mr. Compress. Do you see his, oh my gosh. Hori's doing it in a way so you can't fully see it, but half of Compress's body is gone. Damn near half. damn near half of his body is gone. You can see the few damage. No, Shigaraki definitely, the regeneration's taking a bit, but it's working. The regeneration is definitely taking a bit, but it's working. Shoto being burned confirmed. Yeah, look at him singed. Oh, that's 14, right? Look, oh my gosh. It's kind of bad though. How many reveals and plot twists are you gonna add? Yes. Notice, that's a good point out, Dexter. That's a really good point out. Huh. Come on, Cam. We gotta work together. I have to figure out how to, I did all this recently. All right, so that is something to notice, that Dabi essentially is just playing with his food. It makes sense though. It makes absolute sense. Because for, like, Endeavor wouldn't put all of his hopes into Toya for nothing if the boy wasn't strong, right? And it's exactly as you said. As soon as things weren't going the way Dabi wanted to, guess what? I'm done with this. Get out of my face. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. We gotta focus again? God damn, come on. But that's exactly what it was. Like, as soon as everything's not going the way I want it to, the way I planned, get out. I'm not playing around with you. Get out of my face. Like, in terms of like raw firepower, Dabi quite literally might be one of the strongest. Just raw output, right? Not balance wise. Any of that, just raw output. Dabi might be one of the strongest. Crazy. I like how all this stuff was done with Compress too, because I know for a minute, like, we've been like working our way through getting all of the League of Villains' backstory, right? But for Compress to be related to Oji Harima, right? And for him to say on page 15, what's that you say? You barely noticed me. It's all a part of the act. It's for the ta-da moment. I love it. I love that. I love that. I love that. I really do love that. I love that a lot. And also, I love that Compress wears a mask, because he looks so like, he quite literally, he damn near is a splitting image of him. He looks so much like Oji Harima. I see why he wears it. He just, like, I see why he wears the mask, because there's no way somebody would be like, dude, you look like so and so if someone's been around for that. It's crazy. But now the question is, what the hell? What happens? What happens? You know, it would be crazy. How mad would people be if Mirio died right here? How mad would people be if he died right here? We got him back 2 weeks ago and he's dead. Dude, I have this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach right now that Shigaraki is just gonna Shigaraki's gonna disregard the fact that right? He's gonna because we know Shigaraki can control it, right? But we know Shigaraki isn't there. We know, like, he's not all the way there. He's still incapacitated, etc., etc., etc. Right? And as well as All For One still meddling inside of his mind. So what if Spinner does something to get through to him and Shigaraki just lets loose? Just nothing but decay. No regards for any life. No regards for any life but himself. And he just pumps the decay even crazier than when he woke up. I don't know. I don't know. It's a dark predicament for Mirio, because Mirio can see what's going on and go intangible, but then how would Mirio know a place is safe? You get what I'm saying? For him to come out of the ground, because for him to come out of the ground, he has to make himself physical again. Meaning, when he comes out of the ground, that part of him is physical. So as soon as he comes in, it's quite literally just going to be like, I don't know, if you're underwater and there's oil on the top of the water that's on fire, and you come up through the oil, you just get coated in the oil, therefore you're on fire. He would literally have to just retreat to like a place where he knows is safe, meaning super far away from the action. Like, I said a few streams ago, they're gonna have to nuke the battlefield to get away. I don't know. I have this feeling maybe Shigaraki, like maybe they all, like right here, they all, everyone in this vicinity, Spinner, Compress, everyone there, Dobby somehow gets away. They all just get turned to dust because he goes crazy. That's just like the first instant thing I can think of, right? It's like the first instant thing, like that's off the top of my head. That's what I can think of. But who's gonna get all the injured people out of there is what I'm wondering. I think people are just gonna be dead. I just think people are gonna be dead. I do. This arc is pretty crazy. I'm being modest. Pretty crazy. That's crazy, man. This is crazy. On page 9, that Compress quite literally just poof and took off a chunk of his body. It's nuts. It's nuts to me. This has been going on for 6 months now, and it's still anyone's game, right? It's quite literally like 1 week we see like the heroes are winning, and then the next week, oh my goodness, the heroes aren't winning anymore. And then this week the heroes are winning, and now the heroes aren't winning, and it feels like a wrestling match. Quite literally, it feels like a wrestling match. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I'm loving every bit of it though. Yo, Compress, man. Compress popped off. This was an amazing chapter. This is an amazing chapter. It's an amazing chapter. When both sides go plus ultra. Feel like Momo's group will come in clutch. They already did. They did. They got their Momo's group is responsible for responsible a big part for Gagan. Like this, like Gagan's out of the way. That was seeded so well to me. It was seeded so well. It was seeded so well. Oh, Monoma. I read that wrong. Monoma. Goodness gracious. Where is Monoma's group? We need to go back. We need to go back and see where his group is. I don't remember. If Compress dies, Toga's definitely killing someone before they get out of there. I agree. There's no way she's gonna lose twice. And Compress. They never show it? Okay. There's no way she's gonna lose twice and Compress and not get away. Especially, all right, so like I interpreted her conversation with Ochako as as she's a reject that deserves to die, right? And therefore she was disappointed. Now I don't think she goes to kill her, but who does she body? She's bodying somebody. Class 1B is back where they did the raid. I think they are. Matt, I think you are right, Dexter. I think the majority of them, all of the students outside of, no, they got split up, so it's really hard to tell. Because half were at the edge of the city and half were at the mansion. It's possible that Monoma and them were at the mansion. I think Skeptic is going to do something big next. Mr. Compress is all about sleight of hand and pulling. Yeah. Because, matter of fact, Valoni, to support what you're saying, where is it? Where's the panel at? It's the for me, where that I'm supported by that is 12. When you see Compress darting through, and he's like, I can make work of this, and we don't, and you and he took, because it's easy to miss, right? It's easy to miss, but on 12, Skeptic is yelling out, over here, you're running, right? Free me too then. And then the next panel is the pop, right? Right? Is the pop. And then the section of fibers where he was at is gone. So he has him as well. Now it's time to investigate these panels after the fact to see if you possibly can see something before he hints it, or if it's just going to be like Valoni saying, and it's just going to be like a boom, Skeptic is over here. Hold on. Okay, is this the flashback? Toya, Flashfire, Fish, Jet Burn. Let me zoom in on 14. I wish we could get cleaner. It's hard to tell. Like, do you see Dobby's face? I just caught this. Do you see Dobby's face on 14? Next to the Bubble Sorry masterpiece? It's not any crazed look that he's had before. It's kind of a look of, I don't want to say remorse or sadness, because he can't cry. But the flames are like in his eyes, kind of mimicking if he were to be tearing up in a sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but it definitely does. It feels that way. Like this, I've never seen him make this face before. I've never seen Dobby Toya make this face before, ever. I've never seen him make this face before. I think what he did, I was looking for the panel where it's definitely right here. When Compress yells to me, Dobby, you get the panel of him rushing over to Compress, and then you get this right here on 15. Like, this is the sound effects for Compress's work. I said Compress's work. Compress's quirk. I'm trying to get the actual moments of. I think Compress went like this and then caught it, because it's hard to tell exactly what it exactly is behind his claim of, I am his great grandson, the Bandit King's blood runs through me. It's hard to see I see all of his fibers, and I think these are, I see this, but it's hard to tell what it is. They're just on the back of Gagan, right? No, they're not. Gagan shrunk. Wherever the hell they are. Just the wasteland. I don't think he compressed Dobby. I think he gave Skeptic to Dobby. That's what I think he did. I think that's what this panel on 14 is showing us. I think he gave Skeptic to Dobby because after this, when he proclaims I'm Hyrema's great grandson, right? He snatches it. Oh man. That's what I get for Zoom. That's what I get for using my Zoom. Right? He's there. Or no, maybe that is him compressing Dobby. Hold on. I take that back. I think he, in this panel, this first panel on 15, I think that is him compressing Dobby. Because we don't get the next pop of Shigaraki and Spinner until 16, 17. Because he's holding them and he throws it, and that's the both of them. So I think this one, it's hard to tell if this one, that's what I'm saying. I think it's either he compressed Dobby as well, or he handed Skeptic off to Dobby and Dobby slid off, because we still don't see where he pulls the marble from, right? We still don't see where he pulls the marble from. I don't know. I think he possibly might have compressed Dobby right there. That's what I'm trying to see, if this panel, this middle panel on 15, if it's just the panel just to house all of the text. That's what it seems like. I'm trying to see if you could see something back there. I don't know. Now you don't see Dobby in this last panel though. That is true. You see Best Jeanus's fibers flying in over Mario and under him. And the marble that's in his hand on this page is what is Spinner and Shigaraki. Dude, I don't freaking know. I don't freaking know. Yeah, he definitely got Skeptic at page 12. I had pointed that out. On the bottom of page 12, he grabbed Skeptic. But he definitely used this quirk again on 15. On the first panel of 15, Harima, the reformation that you could not achieve, I now hand off to my boss. He definitely used his quirk. Now, if he's using his quirk on Dobby, which seems like, if we're just following how the chapter goes, and Skeptic yells out to him, "Come over here," and then boom, he uses his quirk. But I think maybe he got Dobby as well. But then what's the play for all of these marbles to be everywhere? Unless it is he would it work though if he then gave his quirk to Shigaraki, and now Shigaraki has all these marbles, and he then could use the compress quirk again, and then that's crazy. And then it would react, like it would be able to undo anything that compress has done. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I could see him like requesting that his, like, if he's going to die, especially with this matter of fact, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense for him to pass on his quirk to him, right? Because quite literally, like, if you're reading through it, right? Like, the whole thing with Compress is the grandson, the great grandson of Oji Harima. And he's like, Harima, the reformation that you could not achieve, I now hand off to my boss. Right? The Paranormal Liberation Front's no, the League of Villains Shigaraki will change the world in my stead. He was tasked because of the bloodline of Oji Harima that he was going to be the one to save the world. But now they recognize that Shiggy's going to be the one to save the world. So why not give Shiggy this bloodline as well, i.e. the quirk? If he could take my quirk, take this bloodline, and you'll be able to pass it on. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense to give him his quirk. That really does make so much sense. And for Compress, like, this is my final act, boom, here's Shigaraki, now Shiggy, you have my quirk, and then you can shape it forward, and I end here. That, I think that makes the most sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It really does. I don't know. I think so. I have this weird feeling that, like, Shiggy's not, and he's not in his right mind, period. But I have this weird feeling that he's gonna dust everything. That means he'll probably be the one to kill Compress, kill Spinner. Like, if he's not, that's just not something that's baked in. That's just like Shigaraki can control whoever his decay works on. But if he's not all the way there, and he's not just controlling it, and he's just letting it just go, just letting it go, then what? Right? Then what? That's my question. Do we get another moment of Shigaraki looking around and realizing that he's taken out more people that I wouldn't necessarily he cares for, but he appreciates them? Because I don't think he cares for anybody. Do you think Shiggy would try to save Compressor? I don't know. I don't think because the Paranormal Liberation Front as the All for One successor, Destro's successor, and not Oji Harima's successor. So I think they'll all be there for Shiggy. Or Shigaraki just takes all their quirks and he's all of them. He's all of their successors now. You get like instead of all of the successors being there, he is now all of their successors. In a way, because now that we know that All for One's drawback in a sense is the fact that if he takes their quirk, he takes a piece of them. So taking their quirks and having their quirks within him does mean he becomes a part of their lineage. So why not have Shigaraki be the single focal point, right, of all of them? They're basically villain royalty at this point, essentially. Yeah, like the Paranormal Liberation Front is loaded with influential people of the past. All for One, Destro, Oji Harima. Toga is from a rich family. We don't know what Spinner is all about. Spinner seems like the only one that possibly just could have been just like treated bad in his entire life. Paranormal Liberation Front's it's crazy. I know Oji Harima has been talked about for a long time. Who could he possibly be? Could Compress be? I remember a year or two ago, I want to say maybe a year ago, I seen on the internet someone trying to string together, if possible, like how Compress is related to Oji Harima in some way, somehow. That person has to feel so good after today's chapter, right? Especially we're gonna fix this. I'm gonna figure this out. But especially like years ago, thinking like, dude, what if Compress is related some way to Oji Harima in some way? And then to get this chapter to see like he's his great grandson, I would feel so like vindicated if I came up with it, right? If I didn't see it somewhere and then thought about it, like if I'm the person in my basement with all the lights off, like what if Compress is this? That I would feel so like vindicated. Like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool though. I like the link. And it fits Compress's character so much that we wouldn't know anything about Compress until the curtain call, right? Essentially. And that's what the last couple pages of this chapter set up. Like, you don't find out about Compress until he reveals the trick for you, if he ever does. I like that. It just fits into the whole magician thing, right? It fits into it. I really do like that. I enjoy that a lot. It's like, well, this came out of nowhere. It's just like, it fits. It totally fits. I want to know more about Oji Harima though. I would love to know some more about that. I do think Toga is from a rich family. I do think so. Just from looking at her flashback, Toga just seems like someone. Toga seems like someone. Like, granted, all like society in the series is like so pretentious, but I do feel like how the people like reacted to Toga seem like snobby people. It feels like it, right? It totally feels like it. I need to stop saying right. It pisses me off every time I do. It feels like she's from a snobby family. What's up, Pempy? What's going on? Dabi Shoto, Shigi Deku, Compress Bakugo, Toga Uraraka. I wouldn't say Compress and Bakugo essentially, but I guess so. Toga Uraraka. That connection's already been set too, right? In the scans, Compress says you thought I was just another side character. Yeah, Toga Uraraka connection, like they've been bound for what? If we go for the manga, like 4 years now. Uraraka's parents are gonna be swimming in cash with all the construction. Yeah. That's really that's funny. That is true. Dude, I love this I have this panel of Compress standing up here. Like this, I'm really satisfied with this, man. With Compress. I'm so satisfied with this chapter. What the hell's gonna happen next week? What the hell is gonna happen next week? Dude, I don't even know what's gonna happen next week. I'm trying to like see if I could like, I have no idea. Like, Compress is so, I know, don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. That's good though. Happy Sunday. I can see Compress and Bakugo since he kidnapped him at that was true. That was true. Fourth user calling it. You think so? You think we're gonna get the fourth user reveal? Because we always end off the year with something crazy. Like something whoa happens. I think Julian, you told us last week that that the Shirakumo reveal was the last chapter for the year. I if it's not the fourth user, it's like one of three things: someone dies, a bunch of people die, or Deku awakens another quirk. I think that's what it's gonna be. And I seen I'm just thinking, Dex, you said every quirk that Deku has awakened so far, Black Whip and Float, has been telegraphed to us, right? Didn't Deku talk to as he was about to awaken the quirk, he talked to, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he talked to him and then it awakened. And then like we got the conversation of the next quirk that the next quirk Deku will get is Float, and then we're just waiting to see it. I would like it if another one just activated, because the boy is so desperate, he's in such dire straits right now, that I can see him like just trying to will it to do anything, getting this quirk to work for him. Activates another one, right? I can see it. I would like it if it was. I would like it if all of our quirks weren't telegraphed to us. It still doesn't make sense how All Might knew. How All Might even knew that Float would be the next quirk to awaken. I still want to know how he deduced that. And I think Shigaraki is going to have one last massive destruction moment next chapter. I think so. Now the whole thing is does Hori have big balls and does he kill Mirio? I can see that as well. I can see all for one for all, forcibly activating a quirk because Deku just won't stop. Right? He just won't stop. It was all, is that confirmed, Veloni? It was just All Might testing a theory that by telling it as a fact to Deku, he could steer him into subconsciously unlocking it. Is that a fact? Is that actually a fact of All Might theory crafting on Deku, especially like, oh my gosh, basically experimenting? I can see it being an experiment, just like you're gonna unlock Float, you practice Float, train it, work on this, so when it activates, you'll be ready for it. But the whole thing is, I think that's crazy because Float didn't activate. Madman, you just said the quirks are influenced by emotion. Float didn't activate off of emotion. Black Whip activated off of emotion, right? Did it activate off of it did activate off of emotion, or no? It did, because he was so cocky and confident and arrogant, wasn't he? It totally did. Wasn't he arrogant? I don't even remember. That's why I can't wait for the anime. I can't wait for the class battle. But wasn't he really confident during that class battle? Like, this is about to be a breeze, and then it activated and he just started panicking. He was determined. Okay. Yeah, and through the okay, it activated. Float did unless he used determined again, like his determination to activate Float. It happened like that. But I thought Float would have activated, and I like how Hori did it better. I thought it was gonna activate like someone's about to die, and then like Deku just like activates Floats, he swoops in like Superman. I thought it was gonna be something crazy like that. I thought it was gonna be something crazy like that, but it wasn't. So if Deku could quite literally just sit down with Bakugo and All Might and sit here and just like, all right, so this is what's next on the agenda, we need to work on this, train this, and we can activate it, then it's just like, why don't we just like hunker down or go away and leave and then activate all this stuff and then come back, instead of running the risk of hurting someone else in class? I don't know. Do you think, by the way, Deku will master All For One is by him essentially perfecting all of the fighting styles of his classmates? We've seen it happen when Ida, Bakugo, Sero, Uraraka, even Tsuyu. I think so. I think that he's just gonna start. He learned his movement from Gran Torino as well. You gotta count that. I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, I don't think so. I don't think he'll get a hardening quirk like Hiroshima. No, I don't think he will. I think what, like, as he awakens more of his quirks, he will use, because Deku doesn't have the luxury of experience, right? He doesn't have that luxury of experience. So what he's doing is taking the experiences that everyone else has experienced. A lot of the use of the word experience. He's taking their experiences and how they experience them, and then adapting them and applying them to himself in his own unique way. So whatever quirks he ends up getting next, someone in the class might be able to help out, and therefore he'll then adapt that into his own playstyle, essentially. I would love it if a quirk activated off of not determination, but just off of like his, basically like him being manic, like he won't stop, like he's in a frenzy, and it activates. I think that would have already happened if that were the case. The point where that could have happened, yeah. The point that would have happened should have been against Shiggy. He needed Float to counter Shiggy. That's true. But yeah, that is true. He needed that. So it's just, I think we just don't know how. We still don't know how Float was awakened. We don't know like how did it come about. All we know is All Might said Float is the next one. I would have to go back to those chapters and read exactly whenever it was happening. What was the boy thinking? Was Black Whip really 211 to 213? Was it real? Was it anger? Was Black Whip anger? I don't think so. I think the determination. Well, thanks a lot. Let's do 11. Alright. Alright. I'm going through. I gotta go back. I gotta go back to 210. There's a 211 that's already awake. 209. Go to 209. Oh no, 210. Go back. It's going page by page. Alright, Valoni. Did that conversation happen before or after he activated it? And I'd have to go through and read it. He said anger really works. He said anger really works for you when you use this quirk. Like anger and this quirk works well together. Let's go. I just want to know like what was the boy thinking when his like what was he thinking? I need to stand out and make him target me since I What's the speed? Ignore me after I get attacked by Class B and deduce their locations. Cooperate with Uraraka and the rest of them to capture them. And then we cut away. I don't know. Black Whip activated. There wasn't any emotion behind it, right? What Monoma is saying wouldn't tick Deku off because he knows it's not the truth, right? Like he listened to Deku. He listened like he's not. Like I don't think anger was a part of it, nor is Monoma's words about him being responsible to being the end of a symbol of peace would make Deku get angry. I don't think it would, because Deku is already gonna attack him. So I don't take the face that he's making right here as a counter to it, right? I don't think that. I truly think that. So at the end of 210, Black Whip activates. Hold on. I'm into 11 now. Yeah, it just seems like Black Whip just activated. Like there wasn't like Deku at the like I don't think so. I don't think so. At the end of 210. I'm at the end of 210 now. I don't know. I don't know. Right. But I'm lost at what you guys are saying. I don't think Deku would be mad at Monoma talking trash about Bakugo. I don't think he would, because all Monoma is saying is quite literally the same exact thing Bakugo himself said to him in their fight. I don't think that would piss Deku off, because Deku already made the adjustment to Monoma to attacking. And even still, like in the subsequent actions after, as Black Whip is activating, he's like, dude, what the hell is going on? Like, he's like, nothing's wrong. Like nothing's wrong. Like nothing's wrong. Right? He's like, nothing's wrong. I don't think it was anger. I think Black Whip just activated because the boy. I disagree. I don't think he would. Because it's not true. It's not true. If Bakugo, like, the only reason why I'm disagreeing why Deku would even get mad at that is because, like, the conversation of Bakugo being like, I'm the reason why All Might's like this. And if that was the case, in the moment when Bakugo said that to him, he would have gotten super emotional about it. No, what he did was like, all right, we're going to fight and we're going to get these emotions out. He wasn't emotional with him. He's like, we're going to work through this. We're going to get these emotions out. We're going to scrap. And therefore, after our scrap, you might be able to figure out what's going on. And therefore, right? and therefore you get the moment of Bakugo learning that it's not his fault, right? You get that he learns that it's not his fault. I don't think that would be a trigger. I don't think that would be a trigger for Deku to possibly go. I don't think that's the case. I genuinely don't think so. Let me keep reading, because after it's subsequent, this is when Deku like he starts getting down on himself, like, I thought I trained and all that stuff. I thought I might transfer power to me better after another. I thought I made it my own. Yes. Yeah, but I don't want to worry people anymore yet. And then this one chapter ends 212. Ochiko, more Deku. Calm down, I can't stop it. Again, you little, okay, this is when we're talking to him. You got it all wrong. I told you, didn't I? You're not alone. This time it's right. Yeah, it's manifested, but that power, it's no longer something you can use with idle thoughts. Got it? Oops. Try harder. Okay, 213. And then off 1. I still love that shot. But I run out of time. The power you just released now was my quirk. Mixed up a core power. We've been living inside one for all along. A small core. Down inside a flickering fire. The undulating waves. Power is cultivated there. It's a source of hidden strength. That core seriously started to swell. The gaps between fluctuations you might be able to see sometimes. One for all is growing. Yeah, it wasn't anger. All right, hold. Let me get. It wasn't anger. It wasn't anger. It wasn't really determination either. It quite literally, it was just like it's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, right? Like, I feel like this completely debunks that he was emotional. He wasn't. He quite like, he needs to have a goal and like most suited for the quirk to activate. So that confirms that. I was reading through all the way to 213 to try to figure out what activated Black Whip. And what activated Black Whip wasn't determination, wasn't anything. It was just the fact that Deku wanted to grab Monoma, and therefore the All for One was like, okay, we can do that. That's essentially what it was. Essentially what it was Deku's like, I need to grab him. I need to stop him. I need to like subdue him. And All for One was like, One for All was like, oh, we can do that. And then it activated. But since it's supercharged, because One for All is manifested in Black Whip, it went haywire, it went crazy. That's all it was. Like, Deku wasn't emotional. It really wasn't determination. It wasn't none of the sorts. He just wanted to grab Monoma, and that's quite literally. So it's just, I get, like, all Deku needs to have is a goal in mind, and if he can get to the point of the quirk activating, it activates. So if Deku just wanted to fly, I think what Valoni said is absolutely right. In a sense, like, in his headcanon, like, if I want to fly and I know I have the ability to fly and I consistently train myself in flying, if I want to fly, it will happen eventually. That's essentially, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. And I think 210 to 213 confirms that. I don't think it's based off of emotions whatsoever. The emotions will help you use the quirk more, because recently Deku thought of it again, like, dude, when you use this quirk in anger, like, don't let the anger consume you, but when you use the anger, it'll really work for you. And then Deku was pissed off and the quirk really started to work for him. He started to make the most out of Black Whip. That has nothing to do with the activation requirement. It's not an activation requirement. It's not. So I think we can basically confirm that all Deku has to do is really want to. He just has to have a goal in mind. That's it. He just has to have a goal in mind. It doesn't have to be life-threatening, because the class battle isn't life-threatening. It doesn't have to be people are in danger. None of the sorts. It's just he just needs to want, like, he wants to do it. Yeah. All right, Pempy. Thanks for stopping by. So quite literally, that's all it is. You just had to keep reading. He said it right here. He said it's okay to be angry. Anger is the source of power. But when you do get angry, you need to be extra vigilant and maintain control over your power, right? So anger helps it, but it is not essential to awakening it. One of these quirks are going to awaken when he's in a frenzy, right? He's not going to know what he's going to be thinking, so many things that it's going to activate. And I feel like all the feelings and emotion in this arc and all the thoughts that are going on in Deku's brain, like, was that last week where he's like, I need to move. One of these quirks is going to activate. He's going to be urging and willing his body to do something. And one of the quirks is going to be like, I meet this requirement, and it's going to activate, and it's probably going to be crazy. I feel that. I do feel that. I think wording it and like thinking of it that way is funny. It's like, oh, I can do that. You need to grab him. We could do that. Then it just it activates on its own. He's gonna do something, and one of these quirks is gonna activate. It truly is. It truly is. Yeah, I think that's right, Dexter. I think it told like he's like Deku's been like being ingenuitive with how he's using his quirk, right? But the boy is gonna do something just absolutely dumb, like something stupid, where it's gonna be like, what the hell? Do you want to live? Right? Maybe One For All is just sitting in the background because it's like the boy won't die. He'll get really hurt, but he won't die. We won't let him kill himself. And then the boy's actually gonna try to kill himself, and it's gonna do something. He's gonna actually try to kill himself to do something. It's gonna activate. Do you think the fourth will somewhat heal his body? I think it would be cool if it was like, I think Dexter mentioned this as well, if it was I can heal you at the expense of someone else. And then now Deku has to have the moral dilemma within himself of, do I hurt someone at the expense of me being better? Right? That kind of quirk completely goes against everything that Deku stands for, quite literally, in his 15 to 16-year-old brain right now. Goes against everything that he stands for. So it would be cool. It would kind of be like with Ben 10 and what was the 10th alien when he was in Alien Force. Because it wasn't Way Big 9? Alien X, thank you. Something like that, where it's just like, we can activate this, but it's like, do you really want to use this? I think so. I think it could be at the expense of that. Injury transfer rather than healing. Now that would be morbid. Injury transfer. Can you imagine having an arc where Deku like sneaks off campus, beats up some street thug, and then transfer all the injuries from one of his arms being really hurt bad to this one guy, and the other guy, he just starts screaming because he's just in agonizing. That would be morbid. That would be so morbid. Something like life shortening. Would Deku do it? I think Deku would sacrifice himself. I think Deku would sacrifice himself. True, Spawn. Nah. It could be Spawn. I still think it's Wolverine, though. I still think it's Wolverine, but it could be Spawn as well. I think we said that last week, like it could be Spawn. Good search. Good search. Good search. Why would he beat him up if he wants to use his healthy body to heal him? So it doesn't look suspicious. We got to do it slowly but surely, because it'd be crazy if Deku just showed up to class the next day with no more scars on his arm, right? He can go like beats this dude up, breaks an arm or two, then switches it, goes back to school, gets healed up by the nurse. What's her? I forgot her name. Nurse. What's her name? I can't think. Gets healed up by her. And then it's just like, Deku, your arms are getting better. Can't overall heal Deku? Essentially, he can. Because it's reconstruction. No, he can't. Yes, he can. Yes, he should be able to. Yeah, he should be able. Maybe? I'm trying to think of, because overhaul definitely like broke his arms. Deku broke his arms with the Manchester Smash, and overall quite literally just like deconstructed and reconstructed himself. So maybe he should be able to. I don't know. That would be a killer arc though. Yeah, it would flip the whole tone of the story and check the hero has his value shaken box. I agree. I don't know if we'll get that arc. Hopefully we get that arc. I pray we get that arc. We need that arc. Like that's needed. And I think Hori knows it's needed. I don't think Hori would be cool with Deku just doing all of this stuff to him for the entirety of this series. I hope not, but I don't think he'd be cool with him doing that, right? I don't think he would be, especially the comic book fan that he is. I don't think he would be cool with that. I think he would want Deku to go through some more. Do you expect a time skip after we wrap up this arc? I don't know, because I was so like, that was last week or 2 weeks ago? I was certain that with the inclusion of Mirio, this arc was over. I was certain that this arc was done. I was so certain this arc was done and we were going to prison. And now I don't know what the hell's happening. I have no idea where this is going now. I don't know. I would think a time skip has to happen at some point. Has to. You just run into I don't know. Deku goes around beating up quirkless kids. That would be crazy. I would drop the series. For Deku to do something like that, he would have to go through so much. His whole family would have to die. I don't know. For him to beat up quirkless kids? I think the only way this series gets a time skip is that I have no idea. I'm trying to see, because I feel like if we do give My Hero a time skip, it quite literally is going to turn it into like part 1, part 2. Like part 1 of My Hero is these kids at the start of high school, and part 2 of My Hero is what? Right? A lot of the other shows get away with the time skip because they're not like in structured society that we can connect to. Like you could do a time skip in Naruto because they don't go to real school. You could do a time skip in One Piece because they're not in they're on an adventure, and they're just going from place to place in the One Piece universe, right? Like this is different. Like these are like when we first seen these kids, they were in the last year of middle school. The first time we seen these kids, they were in their second year of middle school, so essentially their first year of middle school. We time skipped their second year of middle school, so their last year of middle school, and then we instantly went to them in high school, and at that point they're 15, and it's been a year, so they're 16 now. The only way I can see a time skip happening is if society in some way like stays somewhat normal and they stay in UA. But I don't see why we would time, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm literally stuck. I'm trying to think what would be viable for a time skip, because I'm being like, granted, society isn't the way it used to be anymore. The trust in the heroes is not the same. I want to see a second year sports festival. I want to see a third year sports festival. I want to see that. Now, if you time skip that and we don't ever get to see the sports festival ever again, but it happened, I would be kind of bummed by that. But if the story goes in a way where these kids don't go back to UA, there is no more school festival. Right? There's no more sports festival. There's none of that. I can see us time skipping to get us back to a point where if we go abroad or something, I can see that. But if we time skip, we're gonna skip stuff that I personally want to see, because I like the slice of life stuff in My Hero a lot. So I want to see like the day to day. I want to see them plan a concert. I want to see them prepare for the sports festival. I want to see those things. I want to see the interactions between class 1A and class 1B. But I would be miffed if we skipped that. A lot of people would be so happy if all that stuff got skipped, because they don't like the kids are in school. They need to do school stuff if you're going to shape it to be that way. A lot of people could care less about them being in school. Me personally, I want to see them in school. So if we skipped it, a big majority of the fandom would be happy and I would be pissed. So I don't know how you do it. I don't know how a time skip would be structured. How I kind of want the time skip to go is that I don't know. I think life should go on and Deku should leave UA. That's what I think. And I don't know if we stay with UA and we don't stay with Deku, or if we go with Deku and we leave everybody else. I kind of would want to go with Deku and leave everybody else, but then you're going to run into the arguments of this is just turning into Naruto again, where we go off with the kid while he's training and we don't get none of the side characters, and then we come back, our main character is so much more stronger than them now that they're and they're all useless, quote unquote. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I personally think there's no way Deku stays in UA. There's no way at all Deku blow up the school. I think UA is gonna get shut down. Because once the public finds out that all these UA students was involved in this battle, right? It's gonna be a big deal, especially after all of the infiltrations that UA has not been able to stop, right? It's gonna be a big deal. I think Deku wants to stay in UA. There's no way, if Inko is still alive, If Inko is out there and she's still alive, there is no way, after seeing what her son has gone through and this arc again, due to All Might and UA, that he stays in that school. There's no way. There's no possible way. Someone in the Discord floated the idea of him and Pony the girl, the exchange student girl. The exchange student. Yeah, you're right. That would be cool if he goes over there on an exchange. You guys are still here? Yeah. Long-winded. Inko can't take him out of UA if she's dead. That's what I'm thinking. If she's dead, then I think that her dying would be the start of his character development. Agree or disagree? His mom dying would be the start of his character development. I think yes. But if she is in fact alive, there's no way Deku stays in UA. There's no way. Yeah, Deku's mom, Inko. If Deku's mom dies, it starts with his character development of getting over the hurdle of essentially self-sacrifice, killing himself. Right? It would start of getting over that, because you can't be a successful hero and have that element. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It would. I don't want it to be that morbid. I don't want her to die either. Like, don't take this as me wanting her to die. I'm just trying to think of different ways that it could possibly happen. And I think like that could force it. Honestly, what conversation something has to happen for this to be like, because multiple people have had this conversation with him. And he kind of gets it, and then he defaults, right? It's kind of like muscle memory. Did I make this argument or this point before? Like, Deku just results back to muscle memory, right? He understands that he can't keep doing this, but then when things get too crazy, and like all his training goes out of the window because it's not enough, he just defaults, right? He just defaults back to, I can get the job done at the expense of myself, right? And I don't have an issue with Deku's character either. I love where his character is at the moment, but it's clear that he needs to go a little bit more further, right? He needs to go a little bit more further. All Might dying would. Yeah, All Might dying would. All Might needs to die in front of him. Tragic, but I think it needs to happen in front of him. I think he needs to see it, because he has to see it, because I do think Shigaraki is going to dust All Might. I do think Shigaraki is going to dust All Might. Therefore, I need Deku to see that happen. I just don't want Deku to be told that All Might died in the whatever happened with Shigaraki. I need that, because I would rather All Might either die in Deku's arms, or he watch him die from a distance, rather than just, right? Rather than him just, you know, getting told that, like, All Might's dead. It would mimic a Jiraiya moment if he just gets told that he's dead. I want him to see it. I want the boy to be scarred. Night Eye said All Might was going to die a painful death. Yeah, I can see All Might provoking a villain by going buff mode for a split second, prompting to the death blow, and then him going back into his skinny form and just dying, something crazy like that, or thinking he finally got through to Shigaraki, and it's not working, and All Might realizes it and just accepts the fate, because he kind of partly feels guilty for everything that happened with him as well. Man, his daddy don't want him. We need to find out about his daddy. I think Inko dying would be the catalyst to force this man into the spotlight. And then and you can just have him be like a terrible dad. Or he could be a good dad. You never know. What if his daddy is someone important too? What if his daddy's like the Joker in America? Supervillain in America somewhere. I don't know. I've thought of Eri being the one to stop All Might's death, but people would get angry. Anything involving Eri is going to trigger the masses. I think I've seen someone say that, and it makes absolutely no sense. Like, but they're like, Eri could use Eri could use her quirk on All Might, and therefore All Might would be back. And I'm like, that's false. I'm like, that's so false. Right? I'm like, that's so false. Like, all Might would have is just not a messed up body. He wouldn't have one for all again. Right? He wouldn't have it again. He gave the quirk up. All Might was quirkless. So it wouldn't revert. It would not revert him back. Or if it did, One for All would probably choose to be with Deku and not All Might. Because One for All actually evolved with, like, so All Might would just be a gigantic man that probably can be really strong and really fast, but just not super powered like he was before. I hope Deku's dad isn't a bad father. I hope not. I hope not. Isn't the twist, isn't there like a theory out there saying that that All for One is his father? Could possibly be his father. Isn't that a theory out there? What happened to the death flags people were talking about concerning Ida, that he could die? Because it's the fact that all the heroes that were supposed to go provide support against Shigaraki were supposed to be heroes that could fly, right? And Ida's can only be on the ground, so therefore if Shigaraki hits the ground and decays, there's nowhere for Ida to go to get away besides run away. And the decay probably would catch him before he got away. I don't know. Something. So I think that's a death flag. I was looking at it like, dude, that's a death flag. The man that can decay anything that touches the ground, or anything that he touches, and you're connected to the stuff that he touches, you're kind of like SOL. All right, Simo, catch you later. The scientist like the doctor, and he'll maybe that could happen. Deku's body could get healed in some science experiment kind of way, kind of like how Shigaraki. Shiggy's body wasn't healed though. That's the whole thing. Doesn't Shigaraki still have all the scars he had from My Villain Academia? Like he still only has 2 fingers. Yeah, he still only has 3 fingers on his left hand. So I think Deku would be like, I don't know, maybe some science experiment kind of way. Like Deku could get his strength back. Ida's death would I think Ida's death would hit Deku a lot. It was torn apart, then healed up again. But Shigaraki still only has he still only has like 2 fingers on one hand. Like he has one full perfectly fine hand, and then he has like this thing that's like on his other hand, and he only has like this or something, or I think he only has this. So like this is gone, and all he has is this. And that happened before he got experimented on, and since after, he never got that back. So I don't know. A lot of characters have death flags though. I hope Mirio don't die. I hope he doesn't die. But it's looking quite clear that it could happen next week. It could happen next week. People would be so salty if he got killed. People would be so salty if he got killed so soon after he got brought back. Best Genius, Endeavor, and Mirio on Death Watch right now. I agree. I think Best Genius and Endeavor like 99.99%. I'll go Mirio like 95. I would go Mirio like 95%. But Best Genius and Endeavor, in my eyes, are dead. They're walking corpses. in my eyes right now. They're walking corpses. It would be funny to if people would be so pissed if Mirio got bodied. Can you imagine? I'm not if that happens, if I read next week, that's what I'm saying. It's so tough. It's so tough. If Mirio gets killed, like people are gonna go crazy. That's why when they were like teasing around with Bakugo got like dealt these these wounds, I'm like, dude, does Hori have the balls to kill the most popular character in the series? Does he have the balls to do it? Because however you feel about him, the man's the most popular character in the series. To kill any of these characters would be nuts. It would be nuts. It would be absolutely nuts. I'm trying to think. Would I be mad if Mirio died? No, I wouldn't. I would not be mad if Mirio died. A lot of people would drop the series if Mirio got killed. If Mirio were to die next week, so many people, like everybody would be in outrage. Everyone would be in outrage. And I'm saying everyone generally. I'm not saying actually everybody. I'm being like very general. Like everybody would be it would be an outrage. An outrage. If you didn't read the manga, you would know Mirio would die. It's something like that. Something like that. It's something like that. Like if you never paid attention to the manga, only watched the anime, and if Mirio were to die next week, you would know. There's no way you wouldn't know. You would know if he died. You would absolutely find out. I think it totally would. I would be fine. Unless if he died like in a dumb way. Like now, like if Mirio were brought back and then killed by someone that was not Shigaraki, I think I would be bothered. But to be killed by the main villain of the series, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Especially in a war arc like this, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. People be like, it's terrible writing. Why'd you just bring him back to kill him? And it's just like stakes. Stakes only get added to a series when a popular character or a character you deem as a main essential character to the story bites the bullet. That's when actual stakes get applied, right? That's when actual stakes get applied. So until one of these kids die, there's stakes, yes, because of the seriousness of everything that's going on. But until one of these kids bite the bullet, there ain't really no stakes for my I'm not worried about my characters dying until one of them actually dies. Nah, All For One wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Not that man, no way. He would never. I don't think All For One would ever laugh at a quirk and calling it useless, right? He wouldn't call it weak. He would never laugh at a quirk and call it weak. Because if that was the case, he would have laughed at Best Genius. But he looked at Best Genius like, dude, that quirk is butt cheeks. But what you've done with the quirk is amazing. Now I gotta body you. I think he would do the same thing to Muriel. Like, dude, your quirk is kind of rough, but what you've done with your quirk is amazing. Now I gotta body you. That's essentially what All For One does. Like, I'm not taking your quirk because I don't have the time to put into your quirk that you do. I don't have that time to learn your quirk like how you know how to do it. So I'm not gonna take it from you, no. But you can't stay around, no way. You can't stay here. You can't live in this world. You need to go. That's how that man works. If I can't have your quirk, you can't have your quirk. Essentially, that's essentially how he works. If I can't have it, you can't have it because you're not living. That's what he did with Best Genius. I'm surprised Genius even survived, because it literally was like, I can't take that quirk because I don't have the time to learn how to do this, nor does he. But I like what you. I see what you did there. Dead. That's essentially what he did. Dead. I could totally see him respecting him like that. I can totally see him respecting Muriel, like, it's impressive, kid, and then does something that's like, what the hell, Dad? You're cool, but it's basically what he said. You're cool, but you gotta go. I like what you're doing, but you can't stay here, my guy. You cannot. One student had to be sacrificed. I'd be cool with anyone who isn't Deku, Tokoyami, Asui, Jiro, or 1B. Don't need cheats in my game. Who? If I'm being real ballsy, like if Hori has like gigantic rhinoceros balls, I don't know, dinosaur balls. I'm trying to think of the biggest animal, and if like the biggest like if he had those big balls, I'd kill Bakugo. I would. I'd kill the boy. I would kill him. I would kill him because it would hit. As much as Deku loves All Might, Bakugo biting the bullet, blue whale balls, yes. As much as he loves All Might, if Bakugo bit the bullet, that would kill Deku. It would. It would. Because I think Deku said it himself, didn't he? When did he say it? Was that season 1? Was that their fight in their first battle ever? When he's like, All Might, yes, I look up to All Might, right? Yes, I look up to All Might. But you're the one that's been in my life this whole time. No, that was the season 3 fight. That was Deku Bakugo 2. When he's like, you're the one that's been in my life. You're the one I look to. I look at your back, not his. Right? He's the one that he shines over the both of us. But I look at you. If that boy were to go, Hori would be going places, boy. He would. He would be going places, man. And I like Bakugo a lot, but if he were to bite the bullet, oh boy. Woo! I like that idea too much. I like that idea way too much. His editor wouldn't allow it. No editor in their right mind will let you kill the most popular character in the series. Yeah, there's no you killing the most popular character in your series. People would be like, "Are you on drugs? Are you on drugs? Killing the most popular character in your series?" Or he would have to. He would have to, if he did it and they said, okay, cool, he would have to retcon it some way, because it'd be like the world was ending. I want to make a joke, but it would be a spoiler. For what series? For what series? Yeah. I can't be a shonen writer either. I Tokyo Ghoul this whole thing. Like, we get into a squabble. Oops. My bad. I would kill a popular character in a heartbeat. I totally, like, 100%. I want to write a story. I have a story in my head, in mind. I want to write a story where we sink so much time into it's what I thought Taizai was doing, but we remixed it, and I kind of like how Taizai remixed it too. But I want to write a story where you sink maybe 3 years, like 3 years into a story, and what I want to do is like sink like 3 years into a story if it's ongoing and long running, and kill the main character like 3 years in, make you get attached to him, give him so much development, and off him, and then leave and just let his death be like a wake that's just been left in the series, and characters don't know what to do. Like, I want the characters in the series to feel exactly how we feel. I want them to feel exactly how we feel. Like, well, what the hell happens now? I want them to be looking like, well, what the hell happens now? Story just keeps switching off new main characters like every four. I'm telling, yeah. Yeah. It'll make you afraid to be attached to a character. But I would love Chainsaw Man. Ooh, the anime got announced. I seen you drop that in the Discord. I was gonna read it because I'm hearing that part 1 is ending and there's gonna be a part 2. Don't tell me. I was gonna read it. I was gonna binge Chainsaw Man. I was gonna binge Chainsaw Man. Don't spoil, please. Let's not get into that. I loved that series up to a point. But I was gonna binge Chainsaw Man, and I heard it and I said it. I was like, if an anime gets announced before that, I did say that. Didn't I say that a couple months ago? That if an anime for Chainsaw Man gets announced before the end of this year, is that a spoiler? Well, kinda. But oh well. It's like knowing that Shippuden exists. It's like knowing that Shippuden exists. Okay, there's a part 2 for Chainsaw Man. Cool. So enjoy the story. Just know it's not over. I guess it's a spoiler. Essentially, it is a spoiler, but it's one that's hard to avoid, right? That's one that's hard to avoid because you're gonna see words floating around like part 2. Same thing was happening with Tokyo Ghoul. But I did say that if Chainsaw Man got announced, an anime was announced before the end of this year, that I would not read it and I would wait for the anime. And lo and behold, in the 4th quarter with 2 minutes left, an anime gets announced for Chainsaw Man. I said this didn't I say this like back at the, we weren't even in season 2 of right? We weren't even in season 2 of Noragami yet, were we? Or if that. Like, we quite literally, I said that a long time ago. Look, I guess I tracked that fast. But yeah, I want to make a story where you sink relative time into a character. Right? And it's very, it's clear that this person is the main character. It was during, I want to do that. I want to do a story like that where it's clear that this is the main character and he gets killed. And there's no coming back. There is no Dragon Balls. He's dead. He's dead. He's not coming back. And you're not going to get these constant flashbacks of characters thinking of. We're not doing that. He's dead and gone. Move on. It's time to move on. The things that are happening in this series doesn't allow us to remember this guy anymore. Maybe we can think of him from time to time when we get the slowdown moment, but no way are we going to harp on this man. He gone. We need to move on. I want to do a story like that so bad. I really do. Well, I spoiled it for you guys. If I do indeed come up with a story whenever I do and it comes out. But yeah, I do want to make a story like that. It's how I thought Naruto was going to end. I've been on this tip for how long now? 6 years? 7 years? I want a series to end like that. There's probably a series out there too that does it. But I want one of these series to end. No. Cause with JoJo, it's sometimes the story is they link it in some way somehow. It's linked. But it's just like time passes. Like it's been like 30 years. So yeah, the main character changes. Something like, not like that. I want it to be like going through My Hero, right? And we get to All Might versus All for One, and Deku dies. Right? And Deku bites the bullet. Like something like that. Like something like that. Like we get to an arc like, whoa, he's dead? Yeah, and it's just like unexpected, like I don't know what's happening. And then the story keeps going with our characters. And then eventually one of them slides into the role that we follow the most. But now, since I killed the main character, you think that this person can die at any time. So anytime they get into a sticky situation, it's just like the death flag is there because the previous main, something like that. Something like that. Essentially, Dexter. Yeah, essentially. Essentially. All this spawned from what if Bakugo died? I feel like people are too sympathetic for the villains. Yeah, but that's how people are in the world. Doesn't deserve to die. Yes, he does. I'm sorry. He deserves a chance. No, he doesn't. And I think he kind of deserves this one. Like, yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, story that just messes with the reader's mind. Yeah, I like wanted to come off as like your prototypical story. Like, this is your main character. These are your side characters. Like, this is the main character's brushed with death. Oh, he survived. He's fine. And then bam, boom, he's dead. And now it's just like, oh, whoa. And then the story starts to spiral out of control. Like, imagine a series, right? It's Hunter x Hunter. Never mind. Imagine a story that starts off like Naruto and then just has its mode switch to Tokyo Ghoul in the middle. Right? Like, imagine that. There's a story out there that exists like that. That's why I'm linking it as, like, imagine your story starting off, and I'm like, it's kind of like Hunter x Hunter in a sense, but imagine your story starting off like so prototypical shonen like Naruto, and then boom, it just not instantly, but like the gradual shift. Like, you feel like the tones start to get darker, but it's nothing too crazy. The tones get darker, and then boom, and now it's a brand new series, and it's like Tokyo Ghoul from here to the end. I want to do something like that. I have something in my brain that I feel like has done that, and I can't think of it. All right, here's your main character, and he's dead. Okay, here's your new main character, and she's dead. Murdered half the city, so let's let him run free, right, madman? There's something like that, and I can't think of it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's gonna mess with me now. Oh, it's gonna mess with me now. There's a series that I'm thinking of that is structured that way. I feel like it's structured that way, where it's just like things are fine, and then from here on out, it's just like worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like events in the series, not the actual series, just writing wise. I've heard something like, I feel like I've heard something like that before, and I can't think of what it is. Honestly, I think it's elements. I think it's elements from stories that I'm thinking. Like, I'm no spoilers. It's kind of like Attack on Titan in a sense. Kinda, but we're on the same wavelength. I can't spit it out though. I don't know what it is. Oh man. Ooh, we're dropping frames. We're dropping frames. I think that's our sign to get off now. Yeah, that's our sign. Whenever the internet starts acting up, that's when it's time to... I'm just gonna say it. Todoroki has been kind of disappointing this arc in terms of power. I disagree. I disagree. He's showcased his power in some ways that have been crazy. But the only person that's really been able to pop off was Deku. No one has popped off. No one really has popped off. The only person that went absolutely crazy in this arc, as far as the kids go, is Deku. Bakugo really didn't go crazy. Shoto has done a lot. Like, no one has popped crazy but Deku. I don't know. It's been a long time since we've seen Todoroki do much of anything. So I think, like, a lot of people want to see him do something crazy. Like, I want Shoto to get his moment too. I want him to do like this. Like, we're seeing him do Flash Fire Fist. I want him to do a move that tops the one from the sports festival. Because we now know he has the arsenal and firepower to do so. I want to see a move like that. Like some sort of like love child that he's created using Endeavor's stuff. Like the training he got from Endeavor. Yeah, he hasn't had that big moment yet. That's the whole thing. Honestly, has Bakugo had that big moment yet? Bakugo had his escape moment, but Bakugo hasn't really had a pop-off moment. Has he? Has he really had that pop-off moment? No. No, he hasn't. Yeah, last chapter was cool. Completely forgot about the internet that fast. Yeah, it's improved explosions, yeah. I think all the boys are about equal. It's just we get to see the fruit. We get to see the fruits of Deku's training more. Because Deku, like, at least in one of these arcs, Deku pops off kind of crazy. But Shoto hasn't had, like, he hasn't had that moment yet. Like, Bakugo has that character moment, but not that fight where it's just like, damn, Bakugo. He hasn't had that yet. Matter of fact, none of the kids have had that except for Kirishima, right? Has anyone from Class 1A had that moment in a fight where their life was on the line? Ida, well, but Ida got support. Like, none of them have. If we're being frank, no, right? If we're being frank, no. If I'm going back arc to arc, no. None of them have been in that. I'm cloudy brained right now. No, I feel like they haven't. Shoto has the power, but not the creativity. Shoto, like, it's funny with Shoto because your quirk is a prime example of your personality. Like, your personality reflects your quirk, and vice versa. Your quirk reflects your personality. Like, they're intertwined. Yeah, right. I agree, Dexter. It's the whole, like, none of them have had independent screen time. I have not seen this week for Jujutsu. That's the whole thing with this series, is that it's another damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you singularly focus on a character, then you lose the other characters. But what My Hero does does is it shares a lot of its experiences. So you really don't get we spent the last 15 chapters with just Bakugo. we spent the last 15 chapters with Bakugo, Todoroki, Deku, and someone else, and someone else, and someone else. That's what this series does. Right? We've never had that singular focus on not one of them. Maybe a chapter or 2 or 3, maybe. But it's a lot of shared experiences, which makes sense because they're high school kids and they do a lot of things together. But we've never had that moment yet, so it's hard. It's really hard to say. It's kind of weird. My Hero's not your prototypical battle shonen, right? It's not your prototypical battle shonen, so it's hard to like try to divvy it up like how I used to do in my brain. It was easy to divvy up Naruto and Boruto and Bleach. Forgive me, I deserve lashes for that. For Naruto and Bleach and all the old like shonen, like it's easy to divvy them up in my brain, like this and this and this moment and this moment. Like My Hero, it splits a lot of its screen time. It splits a lot of it. I was gonna say something and I forgot. I like that. I feel like we got more of that at the start of the series, but once Bakugo and Todoroki became more popular than Deku, Horikoshi added them into the story a lot more. Yeah, I agree. But I also think that Bakugo's importance, I don't think Todoroki is much. But I do think it was like Bakugo's and like role in the story was always going to be a lot due to the simple fact of the ending of movie 2, right? Knowing that the ending of movie 2 knowing that the ending of movie 2 was supposed to be the original end for My Hero, like Bakugo's importance in the series was always going to be that big, right? So he was always going to share the spotlight with Deku. Oh, I need to get off. My internet's messed up. We're dropping frames like crazy. But I think Todoroki more so because of how popular he ended up becoming. Todoroki got added in more, right? Yeah, I don't get that either, man. How Deku can still be called a crybaby blows my mind. It blows my mind. Yeah, he cries too much. When's the last time he cried? It blows my mind. I'm like, when's the last time he cried in a situation you wouldn't cry in? Because people are like, he just cried. It's just like, someone died. Okay, he cried when someone died. I'm sorry that the boy can't cry when someone dies. Damn. Oh, he was crying then. His arms were about to fall off his body. Okay, he can't cry then. I don't freaking know. It's like, golly. It's like, yeah, at the beginning of the series, he cried a lot. When's the last time he cried for no reason? And it's like, you guys sit there and think. When's the last time he just cried for no reason? It's annoying. Those are the people who want Bakugo to be the main character. They don't like characters who experience more than 3 emotions. It's so stupid. Cries too much. He's too emotional. It's like, well, sorry, you can't be emotional. I'm ending the stream because I'm at 7,600 drop frames, and this is probably looking atrocious on you guys' end as well. I can't tolerate it. I'm ending the stream. I'm pissed. And it's just like, god damn, the boy can't be emotional. The boy can't cry. This kid who's been emotionally scarred and abused for his entire life cried. What a chump. Exactly. It's like, oh, Might pointed at him. It's like, you're next. He starts crying. It's like, damn, he crying again. You didn't see what just happened? He can't cry? God. That, like, whenever people were complaining when he was, whenever people were complaining when he was crying at the end of the All Might All For One fight, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you're serious? Like, this is what you take away from this moment? He's crying again? What? That's what you take away from this moment? That he's crying again? Oh my gosh. It blows my mind. He cries too much. I hate it. It's like he Madman hit on it. It's just like, when has Deku ever run from a fight? When has he ever run from a fight? That's the thing that we want him to start doing. We want him to run from some fight so he doesn't hurt himself. When's the last time he ran? Even in all of his crying, when's the last time he backed down from someone? He's a crybaby. He's a punk. What? When's the last time he backed down from someone, even when he was crying? Never. He never has. He's never willingly done it. Like, what? Oh my gosh. That gets, I don't like that. I hate that argument. He always crying. Always. And he gets the job done, doesn't he? How about that? Your dumb main character that unga bungas his way and caveman his way through everything just has the plot hand stuff to him. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna go on a tangent. All right, Dexter, catch you later. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for stopping by. I want to say that we'll be back tomorrow, but I'm not entirely too sure if we'll be back tomorrow. We're on a day-by-day basis until we work our way through this storm and everything gets better, right? So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably jump in the Discord to watch I'll watch Attack on Titan and hop in the Discord and give my thoughts. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait. Did the stream end by itself? Did it end? I don't know. I have no idea, but thank you guys again. I appreciate you all. And we'll be back for next week, right? We'll be back next week for the last chapter of the year. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be crazy. So I'm signing out. Peace out.